Hey everybody, time for another fitness and health life update. Here's the dad bod if you're wondering how the dad bod is going. There's a dad bod at home versus dad bod lighting while I was in the hospital. There you go. What do you think? Good, bad, whatever. So, blood test updates and some health stuff. Yes, I am full natty bro. Again, I'm not even taking enclomiphene or anything like that. I haven't taken, I was only on TRT for a few months in the first place, but no, I'm not on enclomiphene still or even anything like that. So, here's some blood tests if people are wondering what I'm at. Again, my ferritin, I have been able to get my ferritin back up. It was in the hundreds again last time though, but like I said, I had, seemingly I had about 6 months of internal bleeding, which was not good. But the past couple of tests, it has gone up. I know I did, so I did one of those scans and, there was blood internally, but then I did another colonoscopy and there was just erosion. So no more active bleeding. So I would assume perhaps that is why my ferritin is better now. But again, who knows, maybe APS after radiation is why, with mixing with the TRT, when I tried the TRT for a few months, maybe that was making the ferritin go low. Who knows? My testosterone was 642. So it's all right, I guess, whatever. Right. Like I said, I've actually had before I am still taking the Tomcat LE. I've actually had 800 before with taking Tomcat LE. So still not at that, but I've been sick. So who knows? Free T is still shit at 10, but hey, it's not in the single digits, so it could be worse. So this is the levels of like a 50 or a 60-year-old man instead of the levels of like a 80-year-old man, I guess, right? So whatever. It's shit, but sex hormone binding goblin. I don't know, I've said this before. Sometimes when I go to this hospital to get my blood test, hormone stuff checked, they seemingly fuck it up, and I don't know if they fucked it up again, but for some reason, my sex hormone binding goblin, they had two different ranges. One was 57, one was 57, one was 47.8. So I don't know if they fucked up again, but when I see that kind of shit, it makes me think, did they even do the test correctly? Because if you recall, this is the same hospital that one time I had a free T that said it was 900. And they're like, oh yeah, we messed that up. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Something that stuck out to me, was my TSH was at 1.95. And I've said this before that ever since I was dying from C. diff, I like to be more towards the hyperthyroid range, so like around 1 or maybe even a little bit lower. And so this is strange. This sticks out to me because I don't know why this is that high, which is the higher it is, the lower it is, if you know how thyroid stuff goes. But I don't know why this is this high. And the only other time I saw it this high is during the winter when I got checked. I, for some reason, had a high TSH level like this as well, which I could understand because bleeding internally, probably not digesting things. But I just did another colonoscopy and they said I wasn't bleeding internally anymore. So is there some kind of digestion issue still going on, or am I just not, did I get like a bad batch? I have no idea. So this is what stuck out to me the most, because this should not be like this. This should be closer to a 1. So I don't know why that's like that. My DHEA was shit, 103. I still have DHEA stuff I could take, but I haven't taken any, but so whatever it is. E2 was 21. My FSH was a 5.7, which normally it's around a 4. So I'm a little surprised because, again, I'm not on enclomiphene or Clomid or anything like that. So that's actually high for me. So that's a little strange. I don't know if maybe the Tomcat LE is just hitting me different during this test. But I would think if it's hitting me that high, quotation marks that high, it's like a point higher. But I would think that my testosterone would have been higher, right? Considering I've actually had 800 testosterone on Tomcat LE before. And LH. But anyway, the main thing that stuck out to me was, I don't know if this whole test was fucked up because for some reason they tested my sex hormone binding gamma twice and they gave me 2 different ranges. I don't know if they fucked it up. and my TSH stuck out to me. But that is the body, full natty bra. How do I look? Looking good? I don't know. I feel like shit. So I guess main thing to talk about health-wise that's been going on is, to complain about not exactly, well, it does relate to fitness things, but I've, I finally started growing my hair back, towards the end of the summer. I could feel, I was still shedding a little bit, but, more than normal, but it had calmed down and I could feel my hair was getting thicker again. And remember, last year sucked. Last year was one of the worst cluster headache periods that I've had in years ever. I had COVID multiple times and then internal bleeding 6 months. So you can see why that would ravage my hair. But, towards the end of this summer, I was like, okay, my hair's growing back, right? As you can see in this picture, right? It doesn't look like, this was just at the start of when I started shedding. But, I was like, okay, my hair, I can see it's starting to grow back, right? Well, one of the reasons I'm not even on camera is, unfortunately, and I'm actually talking to some lawyers about it, my doctors gave me a shot that I'm basically allergic to and they're not supposed to, and I ended up in urgent care and I got very sick and all my hair is coming out and it sucks. I'm not bald or anything, but I'm losing, easily probably 300-400 hairs. It's just gobs of hair all over. It is so extremely frustrating. And it's so bad that, unbelievably, my doctors have even told me now that, yeah, we can't guarantee your hair is ever going to grow back now. I am just flabbergasted once again at the incompetence of U of M. And, I was going to get some pain shots because if I posted it that, I got this severe pinched nerve in my neck going down my body and it's very painful. Well, one of the things is, though, they're not supposed to give me dexamethasone for any of these like nerve shots because it makes me sick. And funny enough, I do think this is actually on my YouTube, but if you recall, I complained about my endocrinologist that I tried to see her maybe a couple years ago or whatever it was, right? And she must have been new or something. She's like, you did radiation? You did all this stuff? Are you sure? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yes. Well, what's the date? It's like, oh, I guess you did do this. Oh, okay. And, she's like, I'm like, did you even like look at my medical record before I came in here? And so I've had like bad cortisol tests. And so then they did the P for the cortisol. I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't good. But, I really want you to do a dexamethasone test for the cortisol. And I'm like, this makes me sick. No. And they're like, no, it won't make you sick. You'll be okay. When it's just a dexamethasone test, it is so small, you would never get sick from it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. You've already seen the test is positive. Look at the P test. Well, I don't like the P test now. I'm not going to do anything unless you do like a dexamethasone test. And trust me, it won't make you sick because it's such a small thing. Well, I got real fucked up from it. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure I posted this on YouTube because I complained about this bitch. And basically after, I got real sick and I filed the complaint about the doctor and, well, they won't let me see another endocrinologist. I filed the complaint and they've just never responded to me again. Well, anyway, so I went in for some more shots recently and, well, fuck me. They gave me dexamethasone and I ended up in urgent care. And it's a shitty situation because urgent care, I don't even know if this is true, but urgent care was like, why the hell did they give you a dexamethasone shot when it makes you sick? And why did they give you 40 milligrams of it? They're like, that is a very, very large dose for a dexamethasone shot. Now, I don't know what's a normal dose or not, lost on me. I just know it makes me sick, but she's like, whatever. So she's like, that's weird. I don't know why they gave this to you when it makes you sick, and I don't know why they give you such a high dose. Now, on the U of M record, I can tell you that It doesn't say that they gave me 40 milligrams. It said they gave me a normal shot. So I don't know about that. Who knows? Maybe after I was in urgent care, they kind of cleaned the record. I have no idea. But I've been complaining about this to U of M for a while because I've been very sick since it happened. You know, it fucks with your hormones again, obviously. I'm pretty sensitive hormone wise. And all my hair is just coming out all over. It's terrible. Like, I have not lost this much hair since, again, either the very first time I had COVID or when I did radiation. And I don't think my hair has ever been this thin since, well, definitely for sure. I don't remember it even being this thin the first time I had COVID, but probably since I had that lupus outbreak, maybe 10 years or so ago. Like, it's awful. And it's so crazy that I go and see the doctor about this. I'm like, who is going to be responsible for this? And they're even like, yeah, oh, we can't guarantee your hair is ever going to grow back. You've lost so much. I'm like, you motherfucker, dude. So I'm trying to file a complaint about the hospital. And this just goes to show you and I was actually surprised because they actually did respond immediately. And I can only assume because when I went to go file this complaint, I'm like, let me go check my record to make sure that all the patient portal messages are still there, that dexamethasone makes me sick, not to give it to me, all this kind of stuff for me complaining. And I can only assume that's why they immediately responded, because they're like, oh, sorry, you know, this is very unfortunate that this happened to you, but we can assure you that this time it is on your allergy list, that you should never be given this, but yeah, we can't guarantee your hair is ever going to grow back. And I'm like, I want to file a complaint. And they're like, well, they're basically like, sir, the problem is we're trying to find the doctor and we can't find the doctor to talk to them about it. Now, does anyone think that so that was November 28th. So not quite 2 months. Does anyone think it takes like 2 months to find a doctor to be, how the fuck did you fuck this up? So anyway, I've actually contacted a lawyer about this now. And I don't know. I'm not, I don't know if they'll actually do anything, but the only reason that I would hope they would do something is because, you know, God, well, thank God everything's on the patient portal that they fucking did it, that it makes me sick to not give it to me, and they gave it to me anyway. I mean, unbelievable. And then, oh yeah, we can't find the doctor to talk to them about you. Yeah, sure. Fucking bullshit. So obviously it's terrible. Again, I'm very sensitive hormone wise, obviously. And it sucks having all your hair fall out like this. You know, I can see with a cancer scar on my head, my hair has gotten so thin at the top. It just is, I'm so incredibly frustrated at my doctors, you know, at my life. You know, I'm just in so much pain. I mean, I said this before, it sucks because this hasn't been that bad of a headache year. You know, when you think about all the chronic migraines and cluster headaches, especially when you think about last year. But, you know, even when I got this shot, boom, it fucks with your hormones. So it's triggered another period of cluster headaches and all these migraines and just can't sleep. And it's just been awful, dude, for months now. And of course, you know, it's petty, but of course, obviously the hair matters to me. It's like, I don't want to fucking lose all my hair. I mean, I had a time, you know, radiation, I lost so much hair. Like I said, that's why I used to wear that hat, because it took me a couple years before my hair even grew back. You know, it was not and this is definitely the thinnest my hair has been since maybe that lupus outbreak so many years ago, maybe like 10 years or something ago. I mean, this is just, it's so disgusting to feel your gobs of hair everywhere. And, you know, it sucks because I'm just in so much pain. And I was, talking to the pain clinic and the spine program. And I've said this before. On one hand, it makes me feel, quotation marks, cool that my doctors could be like, you know, wow, you're dealing with a lot of pain. But I don't want to be cool in the sense of, wow, I'm dealing with so much pain. Or I use that example of, I had a doctor appointment so many months ago where the nurse kept walking me around and she's like, I'm sorry, I could just keep walking you around. I had to keep double checking. I couldn't believe you're actually Clayton Chapman. She's just like, I can't believe you look like this. You know, you look so young and like so good for like going through all of this. And she actually said, God really blessed you or some shit, which made me roll my eyes. But you know, I know she meant well, but I can assure you, if my hair keeps going like this, people aren't going to say that I look young. That's for fucking sure. If I have to start fucking wearing a hat again. But no, but so, you know, pain clinic was basically, spine doctor was like, you know, Clayton, she's like, you know, you're really, or what did she say? I don't remember exactly. She just said, Clayton, you know, she said something like, you know, you're not young anymore. You're old to be dealing with all of this and to like be refusing pain medicine all the time. And you can't get shots or anything. Like, cause I asked her, I'm like, well, dude, why the fuck would you motherfuckers give me dexamethasone? Give me some fucking other thing, you know? And she's like, well, if we're going to do that area, you know, I only like doing dexamethasone in that area or some bullshit. So I'm like, you know, give me the fucking break. But whatever the case, she was like, you know, she's like, eventually, you know, you're going to think about having surgery because this is like not good. Which, do you think I'd trust my fucking doctors at U of M to give me neck surgery? You got to be fucking kidding me. So I'm in a lot of pain. It sucks. Obviously, it's very hard to force myself to work out, you know, with how much pain I'm in. I definitely feel like this year has been, like I said, this should not have been that bad of a year. When you think about, you know, the most painful human condition known to man, all those cluster headaches, like this has not been a bad year for that. This has been a pretty, I say pretty quotation marks, good year in terms of not being completely incapacitated, you know, for months at a time. But unfortunately, I just had so much other bad shit. I just can't even, you know, it just is, it's fucking awful. And it's like you can't even trust your own doctors, dude. So, and I'm in so much pain. And I keep thinking about, you know, eventually, you know, because they offer me like, you know, all that Botox for the, you know, the chronic migraines and everything like that. But I keep worrying that if I ever were to do that, I'd be one of those people that would get fucked up from it and have a side effect. And well, God, even this makes me think, yeah, dude, why the fuck would I trust these motherfuckers? But so anyway, yeah, things are bad. Um, I did get another prescription for the TRT just in case I ever want to try again. Cause I mean, I'm still, the fatigue is so terrible. It sucks that, you know, walk for 20 minutes, walk for a half hour, got to take a break. Walk for 20 minutes, half hour, something like that, got to take a break. The fatigue is just terrible. But if I start again, obviously, I'll let you guys know and show what the blood tests look like that. But right now, the most concerning thing is I've just been talking to some lawyers about how realistic it is to sue about this, if it's financially worth it. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly comment, share, support the channel. The end.